Good morning. This is Abigail Benjamin for the Green Catholic. Today's a pretty important day in West Virginia. I've been talking about the Elk River spill, which happened in Charleston, West Virginia 2 years ago, and 300,000 people lost their water supply for many weeks. And today, the leader of that industry was brought to justice. He had a plea bargain where he will spend 30 days in jail and he will pay a $20,000 fine. And this is very, very important in West Virginia because we do not usually hand out criminal sanctions for sort of, bad problems with the environment. For me, it was a little bit heart-wrenching because the judge who gave the sentencing, that's U.S. District Judge Thomas Johnson, said of Gary Southern, "You, like all the others, are not a criminal," and I stand by that statement. And so I just want to repeat that again. The sentencing judge said, "You are not a criminal," and I stand by that statement. It's hard for me as a mom to hear that because it seems so obvious that there was just layers and layers and layers of mistakes and layers of lies. This chemical spill didn't kind of happen in a random accident. It was 2 rust holes the size of quarters that happened in a chemical storage tank that was built in 1935 and that was not adequately inspected. And as my daughter was explaining to me, who's in middle school, she's like, "Mom, you can spill a glass of milk on the table, but then it's your job to pick up the milk when it's spilling." And so we were both trying to figure out how long it takes 10,000 gallons of a hazardous chemical to get out of 2 holes the size of quarters. And I'm a lawyer and I like to talk about this thing called foreseeable harm. And rust holes are foreseeable. And not having a plan to keep a toxic chemical spill out of a water river that's directly above a major city's drinking water supply, that's foreseeable. And all of that, I don't see a clearer definition of criminal than that. One of the definitions for murder is a reckless and willful disregard for human life. And I think running a company that allows, again, 2 rust holes the size of quarters is a reckless and willful disregard for human life. Today, I did something about my feelings. I went down to my local paper. They did not really have anything about this historic day in West Virginia. And so I just walked in with my children on the way to the library, and I asked for a sit-down meeting with the editor. And he was very kind. It was really informative. Unfortunately, like my hometown paper in central West Virginia, they don't cover anything that's going on with the governor in Charleston. They're kind of like, well, that's Charleston. We're here in Martinsburg. But he did tell me that anything that I did locally in terms of activism, they would be happy to cover. And so I just want to really plead to all the Catholic moms out there, if this is at all on your heart, and Pope Francis has told us to care about the environment. He's told us that the poor are very, very vulnerable to these kind of environmental disasters. And so if this is on your heart at all, I just wanted to share what happened to me today. Go down to your paper. Again, I walked in, no appointment. I walked in with all my kids and just talk to them about your feelings, about Flint or about any kind of environmental stuff that's happening in your state. And if they tell you, we only cover local news, let's make a resolve to go out and make some local news. Let's make sure that our environment is newsworthy, that our children's future is newsworthy, and that we're being proactive about caring for our earth. So that is my 4.5 minutes of the Green Catholic. Thank you so much for listening and have a blessed day. Thank you.